Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. All right, we're starting off with a different picture this morning. Thank you to Chemix for this photo. This is a thunderstorm seen from space, and this was over Panama at 37,000 feet. How freaking cool is that? All right, we have a lot to cover. We have some updates. Dr. Shola, she's back in the news. Interesting stuff. Princess Anne is out and about. She's extremely busy. So we just have a lot to cover today. So let's just jump in with both feet and get there, shall we? Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we know that Tom Bauer is claiming in his book that when the first picture taken with Meghan and Archie with the Queen and Philip, that they were actually just looking at a shawl. But so I got this email saying that people are saying that the Queen and Duke were photoshopped, and she found an identical photo of them in 2008 at the Windsor Horse Show. What do you think? Do you think this is a Photoshop? And also she pointed out that Meghan's arm looks strange. What do you think? Well, here's the photo. What do you guys think? So there's the Queen on the left at the horse show in 2018 in her blue sweater and white shirt. Okay, now all of a sudden, look on the right. Now there she is in the exact same outfit. This is the photo that supposedly is a fake. I do agree her left arm looks weird. It's probably a Photoshop. All right, moving on. Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, went to a new 136-bed accommodation center to open it. She unveiled a plaque to mark the occasion and had the opportunity to meet donors whose donations enabled the project to come to fruition. She was greeted by the CEO, Ben Willows, Chair of the UKSA Trustees, Kevin George, and the island's Lord Lieutenant. This new accommodation center boasts configurable zones, which makes more arrangements for those that are staying, whether they're a child on a school residential, a student training, or someone taking part in the water-based programs. Here is Anne arriving for the festivities. Watch this. Princess Anne has been a patron since 1992, and they are now the largest RYA training center in the world. They have welcomed over 11,000 people through the doors and support young people that otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to get to the programs and gain employment. It's been a huge undertaking. And the charity recently announced it funded a record 3,275 young people on water-based adventures during 2021, which included 1,400 Year 6 students who took part in the Test Water program. They will do 11,000 beneficiaries in the next 12 months. Good for them. Next up, Anne went to Mountbatten IW, which is also on the Isle of Wight. This, I believe, is a hospice, the living, the dying. They provide care and support in the last years of their life. And Anne went to meet patients, staff, volunteers, and visitors during her tour of the hospice. And she unveiled a very special plaque, and they presented her with a bouquet and a hamper of island products to say thank you. Wonderful. Good for Anne. I'm very happy to see her out and about and doing things. All right, next up. We're going to talk about that crazy woman, Dr. Shola. She's like the dumbest smart person I've ever met. She, upon hearing that Harry and Meghan had been invited to Balmoral, she said, they've won again. Okay, so you think that the royal family is racist and horrible, but yet you think that they've won by being invited to Balmoral by the Queen, which, by the way, it turns out was fake. They were not invited. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. She said, the true haters are going to gnash their teeth because they don't want it. Okay, they weren't invited. You're wrong. But why would you want them to go since you believe that the royal family is racist and outdated? You've posted that so many times. So why would you want them to go there, especially with the children? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Makes no sense. Here's another thing. She wrote, see how the world favors them and how wonderful Harry's speech was. And she's completely ignoring the fact that he looked horrible. Everybody was commenting on his face. The speech was a flop and he was essentially giving it to an empty room. But she's like, oh, the world just loves them. The world doesn't. But that's my point. She's not facing reality. You know, when it comes to Shola, she should be a little bit more careful. I mean, here, people were asking why when that girl from her country was stoned to death, remember, for asking the people that were in her group to keep it professional, everybody asked why she didn't speak out, why she didn't do something. And people also brought up the fact that her family apparently in some fashion was involved in slave trade. So people were asking, why didn't she speak out? What's going on? What's going on? Well, here's her Wikipedia. As you can see, under personal life, it's got all this stuff listed. It says that she's married with 3 daughters. It brings up how she's related to royalty from that country. I mean, it's all in there. And then presto changeo, poof, it's now gone. And the only thing it says now is that she's married with 3 daughters. Isn't that interesting? It's just another thing. She's changing her online profile just like Meghan Markle did. Same thing. All right, I showed you guys this article yesterday that Harry was going to be using his book to defend Meghan against some of the claims. If anything, this just shows me that absolutely, yes, they are reading the book. Absolutely. You know those plates are flying. All right, moving on. And now we have a new blind item that says that Meghan met with the ghostwriter of Harry's book to make sure there was enough dirt in the book. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? She can't even just let that man do a book with the ghostwriter. She has to have total control. This is not about the truth. This is about her trying to get even. That's all this is. All right, moving on. You know, I was looking back at, remember Harry and Meghan have been claiming that the police have been called and people are trespassing and they never find anything. Well, back when Meghan Markle was living in Toronto, the police were called again, supposedly for the actions of some media. But of course, they never found anything. You know, they claimed that Meghan was a subject to a wave of abuse and harassment, and she was smeared and all that. And of course, they claim also that there are nightly battles to keep stories out of the paper, her mother having to struggle past photographers, and attempts of reporters and photographers to gain illegal entry to her home. That was the interesting thing. And calls to the police that followed. Yet, if somebody had tried to illegally enter her home, they would have been arrested, and nobody was arrested. Because this was just another story from Meghan Markle to make herself seem like the damsel in distress and to whip Harry up into a frenzy of, Harry, Harry, save me, save me. Yeah, you get it. Going back to the whole Balmoral thing, it's being put out now that if the Queen really wanted them there, she could intervene to ensure that Harry and Meghan go to Balmoral. I'm sure Harry and Meghan are feeling really stupid for floating the story that, about the invite. It's pretty obvious they wanted an invite. They floated the story. The palace refuted it. There was no invite. Then the story came out they could be there if the Queen would intervene. Now, the Queen has not intervened, so now the stories like this are coming out. Ready? Harry and Meghan won't visit the Queen. If there's an invite, they don't care. They're not going. But the family has not been invited. They're not going to be invited. And now they're angry that the invite never showed up. So now they're handing out this stuff saying, we won't go. Even if there's an invite, we're not going. Good. You know, I've told you guys before, Meghan doesn't like the UK. She'll never let the kids go without her. She only went to the UK because of the Platinum Jubilee, because they wanted their money shots, which, by the way, they never got. They never got those pictures of their daughter with the queen. They tried to throw a birthday party knowing that everybody's diaries were full. They're full. Everything's announced months ahead. They knew it. But of course, that falls into the whole victim narrative of they snubbed our kid's birthday party. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. They barely had 15 minutes with her, and the rest of the time they stayed at Frogmore because they didn't like the way things were going. No, nobody wants them there. I think they pretty much have it down at this point. All right, a story is coming out that was in the book. We've all heard the rumors that Meghan was mean to Charlotte and made her cry, but the story is coming out about what happened, and it was in a blind item, I might add, years ago. But apparently in the book, yes, I'm literally almost speechless. Meghan apparently did compare Charlotte to Jessica Mulroney's daughter and made fun of Charlotte. How could you bully a 3-year-old? So bad was this, I might add. You know how when they Meghan handed her flowers over and the kids went behind there into some section to sit by themselves away during the wedding? Apparently the nanny was back there to take Catherine and William's children away from the other children because apparently Jessica Mulroney's daughter was being encouraged to be mean to Charlotte. Now, remember, this man has been sued and has never lost a case. If he's reporting it, it happened. I'm speechless. Now, with all these claims of bullying coming out, I have to agree with what this person put on Twitter. Meghan and Harry are the most litigious couple I've ever met. They sue over everything, but she has never sued over the reports of her bullying. She didn't sue Valentine Lowe for his article in the Times. She didn't sue after he interviewed and talked about everything going on. And I don't think she's going to sue Tom Bauer either. Just like she didn't sue, I told you guys, for that full frontal photo of Archie. If she has a hand in it, she can't sue. Or if something can be proven, she can't sue. And that's why she's never sued over the bullying thing. And I'd like to add that I do believe it was Meghan Markle's brother who made the comment that Meghan should never be left alone with children. Interesting. As a matter of fact, everything that Thomas Markle Jr. wrote in that letter to Harry telling him to call off the wedding, everything he wrote in that letter has come true. What do you guys think about that one? Now, another thing that came out in the book, I haven't read it myself, I'm not up to that part yet, but apparently William is not the only person who warned Harry about considering whether he should marry Meghan or not. Apparently Diana's brother told him 3 times that he needed to really think about what he was doing. Apparently, when Harry took Meghan to meet that side of the family, he expected the Earl Spencer and Diana's 2 sisters, Lady Sarah and Baroness Jane Fellows, to see the similarities between Meghan and Diana, and they didn't. And they thought she would struggle to fit in with the family, and they warned him not to marry her. I find it very interesting that Harry was whining on about William not being supportive, but he never said one word about Diana's brother or sisters. Interesting. No one, and this is what he said, he thought that they would see his mother in Meghan. Okay, that's some sick mental health issues that you think that your dead mother is living in your fiance. There's something really mentally wrong there. Ew. Now, other stories are coming out, again, from the book, that basically confirms what you already heard about the Platinum Jubilee snubs. You know, that the fact that they were put in the second row, the fact that they were not allowed to sit on the end, the fact that when Harry arrived purposefully late, because they wanted their own grand entrance, and he tried to make it where they were going to sit on the end. It wasn't allowed. But here's where things get interesting. You have to look out for stories like this, and let me show you why. The article says that they were well received by the public. They said they emerged to cheers from the gathering crowds. No, the fact that they were booed coming out and there was some booing going in, I think those cheers that they're talking about were for Edward, Sophie, and the kids who were still on the steps walking up. It's pretty clear from what was heard while they were coming out that the public they weren't well received by the public. May I remind you? Here's a video of them entering the church. Watch this. And here they are exiting. Watch this. All right, here we go. Updates on Samantha Markle's lawsuit against Meghan Markle. First of all, Meghan filed to have the suit dismissed as meritless, and it failed. Samantha had filed an amended complaint. Then Meghan filed for a second motion to dismiss, which failed. Then Samantha, although I'm not sure that this was even worth the effort, tried to remove the judge, saying that his impartiality would be questioned because he was appointed a judge by Barack Obama, who Samantha claims is allies with the Harry and Meghan. But if she had read the room at this point, she would know they're not in contact anymore. She named Harry in the lawsuit. He's listed as an interested person in the case since he's Meghan's husband. The case is going to go to court. It's going to go to court, and I'm going to be paying close attention to this one. I hope it's televised like Johnny Depp's was, because this is going to be good. Now, I've told you guys before that Meghan, I think, has trouble telling the difference between truth and lies, or maybe it's just that she thinks she's so self-important that nobody should question what she says. However, she's now denying that she lied to Oprah about being an only child. Okay, when she said, I would have loved to have had siblings. It would have been great to have had siblings, but I'm an only child. Now she's saying that that was meant to be subjective of her feelings and not an objective fact. Unfortunately, she said it not subjectively, but objectively. That's what it is. Now, one interesting thing, which I'm not sure I agree with this, lawyers for Meghan argued that she shouldn't be sued over the book Finding Freedom because she didn't write it. Meghan didn't make the statements, so she can't be liable for them. However, it's now been proven that those statements were given to the authors by Meghan. Therefore, yes, she could be held liable for them because the authors wouldn't have made them had Meghan not given them the information on that email. I think this could be a big loss for Meghan Markle in court. All right, we have some updates on the lawsuit. It's coming out now, partial documents, and one of his arguments why the UK public should have to pay for his police protection, are you ready? Is because he had to ask His Majesty the Queen's permission to marry Meghan Markle. Therefore, he should get police protection. By the way, the court rejected that statement. His next argument was that he had offered to do occasional royal duties, the whole part-time thing. And it says the claimant sought to remain a working royal undertaking part-time duties. And he conveyed this to the members of the royal household at the Sandringham meeting. And he was told that that was an unrealistic option. He was told no. So apparently the court rejected that as well. I have to be honest, when I read stuff like this, it makes me realize that he's really reaching deep down for every excuse under the sun why the UK taxpayer should pay for his security. But any way you look at it, he is a non-working royal who wants the UK to pay for his tax-funded security. And I have never seen one document, not an email, not a court paper, nothing, where he offered to pay for it himself, which is what he's claiming. Prove it, because nobody's seen it. All right, Finn update time now. I went around the corner and he was sitting on my husband, and there was Toodles also sitting on my husband. And up on the corner, there was Tigger. So you know me, I grabbed the camera. Here we go. Watch this. Do I see what I think I'm seeing? Finn sitting next to Toodles. You recognize your name? Toodly Woodley? Toodly Woodley? And Tigger. Hi, Tig Tig. Finn, it's okay, Bobby. You. Yes, Toodles, don't get upset. All right, you guys. So there's a lot of information in there. You know I want your comments. You know I want to hear what you have to say because you know I'm reading it. So make them good. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of my uploads. It's not like I don't upload every day or anything, but you never know, something could happen. Don't forget to check in. If you've already hit the button, make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, Rumble. You can email me. For those of you who have donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.